Welcome to Stuck, Time to Improv. I'm Mary Scott with Business Riff, and I want startups to be wildly successful. Today's guest is Bonnie Halper from Startup One Stop, and we're going to be talking about something very important for startups, which is your pitch deck. Thanks for coming, Bonnie.
Oh, thank you for having me. I know Startup One Stop is a terrible name. I actually started it for a totally different reason. I was recruiting at the time, and it was just to help companies and people who are looking for jobs. And it was after the first bubble burst.
Okay, and now we're helping people not look for jobs, but create them.
Create them, that's right.
So that's the best thing that we can do here. So let's talk about pitch decks. How important is it to have a pitch deck?
But I think it's very important whether you're looking for investment or not. You know what a pitch deck does? It really helps you look at the big picture about what you're doing. It really answers every question that every business, every point that every business should know. What's your go-to-market? Who are your competitors? What are your superpowers? Meaning, what are your differentiators? It's everything you need to know. Like I said, and you never know when you will go to investor. I'm not saying it's absolutely necessary, but
how many slides should be in a pitch deck?
Every investors say, 10 to 15. I've seen people submit 32 because they'll go into product. And here is one point that every single founder doesn't understand about a pitch deck when you're going to an investor. When you're approaching an investor, guess what your product is? It's you. It's you. You're the product. They are going to invest. You know how investors say we invest in the team? That means it's you. That doesn't mean that the team goes up front. It means that they want it when they're reading through the deck, they want to see how you're thinking about your product. It's fine what your product is. They're not buying your product. You're going to pivot anyway. Everybody does.
Yeah. Well, they want to know what problem you solve.
Exactly.
And what you do to solve it. They don't necessarily need to know all the details of the secret sauce, right?
No, they do. That's exactly right. That's when I say what's your superpower? That means, what are your differentiators? What's going to make you the winner?
Exactly. And what are some common mistakes startups make other than not realizing it's about themselves?
They have no go-to-market strategy. You want to go to the market? Well, what's your strategy? You need it. Who are your customers? How are you going to reach them? You need to know that. But people think that marketing is like an afterthought. It's not. If you don't know how to get into the market, I don't care how great your developers are, you're dead in the water.
Right. And I always say, until you're in revenue, you're in sales.
That's right. That's exactly a good one. Absolutely right.
Right. So one of the things that I often see in pitch decks is there's too much information on a slide.
Oh, absolutely. Investors love white space. Let me tell you what I have sat with investors and have watched them go through pitch decks. You know what you want to see how they do it? They're not reading every word. And the more you have on the slide, the less you have, the easier it is.
And certainly you're not supposed to read your slides.
No, they're not. No. A pitch deck is your calling card to get the meeting. That's the purpose of the pitch deck, to get the meeting with the investor. And that's when you'll answer all their questions. That's when you're going to go into all the details. And when you're in that meeting and you don't have an answer, you know what you say? I'll get back to you, and then get back to them. Don't make something up. They'll probably know it. It's not in your favor.
If you can get more questions generated from your pitch deck rather than putting all the answers into your pitch deck, that's going to serve you pretty well.
That's right. They'll be curious about you. And you know what investors are really focused on? And we know that you're into your product and all. They are in one business. They have one business. They are in the business of exits. They want an exit. That's it.
Right.
They're investors. They're not your piggy bank. They're not your parents. They're not.
Right. They want an exit with profit.
That's right. That's why the team is so important. They want to know that you're the group that's going to get them to the finish line.
Right. And should a pitch deck be able to stand alone, or does it need to be in conjunction with a live presentation?
Oh, no, it better be able to stand alone, because when you're approaching an investor, you're going to send them either your executive summary, your one pager. And I said one pager. Let me repeat that. One pager. One. Or your pitch deck, or your brief little pitch deck that is 10 to 12 slides that's going to spell it out. And you know what? This really throws me off when I'm looking for pitch decks. You know what slides people most often forget? The ask, how much you're raising. And the other one, your contact information. You'd be surprised. Now, I know this contact information is in your email. You know, that's going to get passed around, you know, to other people within the firm, or, you know, maybe they'll share it with another investor, whatever. You better have your contact information there.
Right. Your name, your company name, your phone number, and your email. And if
That's
it's
right.
one after the other so people can copy and paste it, you're in good shape.
And always nice on that last slide with your contact information, say thank you. Say thank you. Two little words, not going to take up a hell of a lot of space.
Right. Thank you for your time and for your consideration. Any last little bits of golden nuggets from pitch decks?
Oh, you know, I know that the one slide that Harry found or hates to do are the financials. And let's face it, you know, it's all smoke and mirrors anyway. You're early stage, if you're early stage and you don't have financials. But this is what that slide is about. They want to know what you're thinking. You know, yes, they want to know how big your market is. What's your, you know, sample, what's your obtainable market, not just the market. You could be a fashion startup. Yeah. Fashion is a $3 trillion a year industry. Guess what? That's not your target market. Your target market is this little sliver, and then your obtainable market is this little sliver. But the financials are about, they want to know how you think, how you're allocating your money, how you see, what's your time. And it's about how you think. That's why it's an important slide.
And if you have a business plan,
yes,
then you have all of the elements you need in a pitch deck, right?
Yes. You know, I hope you have a business plan. Remember, you're starting a business. You know, it was driving me crazy for a while. I tried to change it to NewCo because it's company, it's business. When you call it a startup, it's like, I don't know, it's like business. I used to be in the music business. I used to work at Sony and Berlin. I mean, big labels. They never called it the music company or the music industry. It was the music business because it was business. They're in business to make money.
Exactly. Well, thank you very much, Bonnie Halper from Startup One Stop. We will put any links in the comments to get to talk to Bonnie or to sign up for her fabulous newsletter with all kinds of great information about startup businesses. And I'm Mary Scott with Business Riff. I want startups to be wildly successful. And one of the best things you can do is book a synergy call with me at businessriff.com. And join us again next time for Stuck, Time to Improv.